Oh, fuck. Before I even get there, man, I'm already behind. I gotta follow up. I gotta share the stream. What am I thinking, boys? How can I not share the stream? Okay. I gotta send out the Lumos signal to all the homies here. Yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good day. Let me know if this music is too loud, homies. Alright, got the Lumos signal sent out to all the homies. All the Theromax Corps are going to be popping in shortly. And sorry guys, it's been a little wild. My living situation is crazy. I'm moving between all sorts of different rooms, trying out all sorts of different things for the PC setup. So if it's a little bit wild in here, just know that's why. Alright, yo, what's up? We already got people rolling in. Let's see. Yo, what's up? Stop talking. I pronounce the first name, but I do not recognize the first name. Unfortunately, I do not speak that language, which I believe could be a variety of Middle Eastern ones, but I'm not going to be that guy, and I'm not going to try to make that happen. Yo, but if you guys saw the thumbnail, you already know. You already know what we're talking about today, boys, and it is going to get pretty wild. It's going to get really wild, if I'm being honest. I haven't watched this yet. I haven't watched this at all yet. But I have heard some pretty wild stuff. I've heard that, yeah, I've heard that people not liking this CAS video. I'm hearing all the quote-unquote debunks. So, I mean, today we're hanging out with Comic Curator. As usual, I mean, the guy is always coming out to talk content about me whenever it comes to, like, the high-end stuff in DC. So I'll give him credit for definitely wiling up. Oh yeah, Chuck also said the same thing. Which Chuck? There's a lot of Chucks out there. I gotta upload this photo real quick so I can use it for the stream. 1 second. This shit is pretty mean though. Oh wait, I can already draw it off of there. Never mind, I already got it on here somewhere. This is like my favorite skein of all time. Oh, perfect. It even opened up on the other screen, so we don't even get there. All right, let's go. We in W Town. Yeah, which Chuck? Are you talking about like Chuck the Cybercuck Chuck? Yeah, Chuck, really? Yeah, I used to talk a little bit to Chuck back in the day, if memory serves right. Yeah, I think, yeah, Chuck used to look at that. Yo, what's up, Morningstar? How's it going, bro? I'm giving just a small amount of time for some people to start rolling in. I imagine we're really early, so we're probably not going to pick up as much people as normal, but I figured I'd give it a little bit of time just to see what's going on. What, Chuck said that I was overhyping Cosmic Armor Superman? Yo, I'm telling you, dude, I know that Chuck, whenever he scales things, he looks at, like, I think he looks at lower ball interpretations of things, in my opinion. I was on a call with him a few times, and I felt like I was really solidly positioned on a lot of my statements, and they weren't even, like, about what I was specifically, like, it wasn't even a field of expertise that I was, like, a master in or anything. So, I don't know. I think he just got a different opinion of DC. In terms of the totality of cosmology. And this is something that like really triggers me too, because something that drives me just absolutely insane is like ever since Versus Battle Wiki decided to take the ultra realist approach to the statements from the 2018 Snyder run, with like the whole 6D thing, they think that that's like definitive. They think that it's like game over, GG, we're already done whenever it comes to like the totality of the cosmology of DC. And that's such a dishonest and lowball way to look at it. But unfortunately, a lot of people basically get all of their opinions directly from like major scaling websites and stuff like that. And when you sit down and actually talk to some, not all, but some of the people in specific areas of the people who set up those websites, honestly, like, some of them just don't know what they're talking about. And I'm being really genuous saying that. Like, I had one guy try to tell me that, yo, Kyle Rayner surpassing the source wall was like a universal feat. I laughed so hard at that, dude. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard, dude. It was just, it killed me. Yeah, he really does like SCP though. I have heard that. I have heard he's like crazy about SCP. Yo, once we hit, let's say once we hit 10 viewers total, we're gonna start this bad boy. That's what we're gonna do. Unless we just have nobody showing up today. So message your friends, tell them to show up, boys. Tell them to show up. The debunk is happening now. You guys are gonna see my live reaction to getting slammed by Comic Curator, man. Yeah, imagine thinking that SCP is the first verse that you think is high outer versal. That's like pretty wild to me. Cause like even if you don't buy the DC shit, like clearly Marvel has high outer versal stuff. Like come on, like come on. And he scales Marvel too. I'm pretty sure. Actually, yeah, I was in a conversation with him about Marvel. Though to be fair, I think it was a little bit lower. Like his interpretations of the characters were a little bit lower. But it is what it is, man. I don't know. Yo, thanks. And also keep in mind, anybody dropping, anybody who drops some super chats, you already know we're gonna slam that bad boy out. Yo, we're at 9 concurrent viewers. We're almost to that 10. That's when we start this bad boy. Hit me with it. Why did my music cut out? What is happening right now? Oh, how much do you want to bet my headset dropped? Yeah. Does this one is plugged in. You gotta love it. Yo, we hit 12. Let's go. W's in chats, boys. W's in chat. Now, from what I heard, my mic is pretty good. The audio should hopefully be pretty good. If you guys have any problems, definitely let me know. I'm trying to get a few things to help me stream as time goes on, because I'll admit there's a limited amount of things you can do, I swear to God, whenever it comes to that stuff. But that being said, with no further ado, let's see just exactly how good of a criticism of my Cosmic Armor Superman video is without having seen it yet. Here's what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm gonna make a little Word document for you guys, okay? Let's do this. Spoiler alert for all my other videos. Criticisms of my CAS video. Let's just do this. How about it, guys? And then in my debunk video, I'll put every single one of these in there. So there will be no confusion whatsoever about like me addressing all of these. Now, I'll admit, I'm pretty talented at what I do, okay? Or at least I feel like it. That could just be the arrogance, but I feel like I'm pretty talented at what I do. And I feel like I'm pretty good whenever I do live streams, but I'm better when I do full-on video responses. And that's something I'll give Comic Curator credit for. Man, this guy had this video out in like not even 6 hours. This guy can edit, bro. Like not only the edit's really good, but he can do that shit really fast. Like impressively so. So I want everyone to remember, okay, while I'm debunking this, just because I disagree with somebody, just because I laugh at somebody's points, or just because I think their points are silly, doesn't mean I hate the person. Doesn't mean I wish them dead. Doesn't mean I want any of you guys to go to their channel and hate on him, okay? Because if anything, I'll admit, even in his comment sections, he actually had to, I think, disavow really popular members of his community for, like, being idiots, okay? And that's really commendable. I'll respect that more than anything, okay? And, so, like, more power to him, hell yeah, in that department. So, just want to get that straight out the gate, that just because we disagree, I don't hate the guy, alright? Yo, what's up, YARC9? Yes, this is the debunk video, quote unquote. Yo, it is gonna be it, boys. So let's get to it. I'm gonna crank this bad boy up and we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna turn this music down just a tad. And if you guys haven't, check out White Bat Audio, dude. This guy is just, everything he does is banger. He does a lot of my synth music that a lot of you guys enjoy. I get tons of comments in my comment section about people wanting to know where I get my music from. It's so funny. But let's get to it, boys.
Oh dear God, my Cosmic Armor Superman sense is tingling so hard, and I can't. God help me. Okay, so we're
That
gonna
doesn't
do
surprise
this
me.
again, I guess. I guess that's fine if we want to do the Cosmic Armor Wars again. That's totally fine. Now,
Okay, so something I want to point out is this. So this guy, I actually talked to MJ. He's pretty cool. This was in his server that he kicked me out of for no reason. Says, I won't talk to you about the CAS stuff anymore. I broke my own rule that I wouldn't talk about it anymore. I'm not going to do any reaction videos on your statements unless you ask me to. I am not interested in drama or rivalry or anything like that. I've had enough of that in my time. So if we do videos, it's to help you find whatever information you're looking for, or to do comics in general or manga or whatever. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, bro, like... This guy, I talked to him in my Discord, and this guy, like, he just doesn't want to talk about, like, this stuff in front of his people. I don't know why, really. I'll talk about whatever with people, but he really didn't want to talk about this stuff with me. And so I just dropped it. I didn't bring up shit. I didn't do anything past this moment in time. I was like, okay, well, if you don't want to talk about me, this stuff is cool. But, like, I could still talk about this stuff outside of you. And plus, I'm kind of upset a little bit. Like, I'm a little bit upset that he says he's not gonna do reaction videos to me anymore unless I ask him to. I didn't ask him to do this, but it's a shame he kind of went back on that. He broke his own rule. It's funny because he like breaks his own rules anytime he feels that like somebody disagrees with the statement he's made. And like, I don't know, like, I don't bend like that, but maybe that's just me. Let's see what else he's got. Let's see what else he's ripping.
I'm gonna try to make this video as fast as possible.
He did make
I know
it
that
fast.
this video could potentially reach like 7 hours long. So I'm gonna rapid
Oh my
fire through
god,
this
7
as much as
hours!
possible.
What?
Now, Lumos Theromax and I have had a little bit of drama
Oh.
and some heated exchange.
Also funny that it's changed now, but he also thought my name was legitimately Lumos Theromax. He spelled the
He's
name
got
wrong
his
in the
own
video
view,
too.
I have mine, and we've been back and forth.
That was so funny.
About the drama, and you know, the whole cosmic armor thing was over, but I guess not. I guess nothing changed, which bothers me because in one of your comments, bro, you told me that you learned a lot from.
That's funny because in this comment, I actually wasn't talking to him at all. I was talking to somebody else, and I'll say I won't lie, and I won't say I haven't learned anything from him, as every once in a while he'll mention a neat thing or a unique way to look at something that I hadn't considered. I'm always open to new ideas. Like, I'll admit there are very, very, very small things that I do pick up from him. And like I said, I'm not saying this, I'm not even the guy who goes way out of his way to just like absolutely shit on anybody, all right? I'm one of the guys in the community who's like, my biggest criticism is I'm too fucking nice to people. When everybody else is out here like going crazy hard, I'm really nice to people, okay? Now, this whole spiel started up because this guy started covering my content and said he needed to educate me on things, which is the most condescending shit I've ever heard in my whole life. So obviously there is a beef between us for some reason, mainly on his end, not mine. If he ever wanted to contact me, he could have contacted me in the first videos. And there are things to be learned from a large variety of people. So like, if I did learn something from him, it's not necessarily a negative. That shows I'm willing to learn things, right? Which is exactly what this entire comment is reflective of. Like, look at this comment. How do you read this shit is negative? I'm totally open to conversations with pretty much anybody. I told him, I was told on by him that he didn't want to speak to me about this specific DC topic, and I respected that. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about those topics. This is like the exact same thing I just said. Holy shit. Like, how is this not the friendliest, the friendliest thing you could ever say?
Watching my content.
You gonna learn today.
Educate
Now,
me, please.
For starters, your intro on your video was fabulous. I loved it. What a great intro.
Damn, okay. Getting praise.
Every
Let's go.
second of it until you got to this.
Until I get to the weed part.
You know, CAS user 69. Clearly,
You can't say
you know, which is better than Great Darkness 420. And you know, drugs are bad. You probably shouldn't do them so much. But once you got right to that point, your video went right off the cliff.
Great movie, by the way. Great movie reference. Okay, yo, that's another thing I will admit. Yo, he makes some funny as fuck references, dude. He makes some funny as fuck references in his shit, dude. Like one time, although I don't agree obviously with like Mandrake soloing the presents and shit, he made this recap of a Falling in Reverse video, dude, and oh my god, it's so funny, dude. It's so funny. I was laughing so fucking hard at one point. Otoyo rules. It is funny to compare me to those dudes.
After that, I started reading some of the comments on your video, and I just don't know how to reply to this. Like, as a human being,
just do one. Just actually, you do one so I can follow up with some criticism.
Like, negativity. Because, like, some of the things that you're telling these people are, like,
can you give me an example?
Next level,
hold on.
like, misinformation.
He's saying that what I'm telling these people is next level information in the comments. He proceeds to show a comment with none of my comments. He's saying that I'm misinforming people in the comments. Where? You didn't provide it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's next.
You're
maybe it's next.
People that
okay, there we go. I was about to say, what?
Did something or said something completely different. And I'm sitting here
alone. Hold on. This guy is saying that I'm misinforming people about a time when Mandrake comes back to the positive matter multiverse and then gets nuked and had his fundamental abilities and concept changed by forcing him to be a cuck in the dark multiverse for all eternity or die. Do I need to find? Let's just go do it. Let's go look up the unexpected. I'll show you guys what's up with the unexpected. I ain't afraid of nothing here. See, this was the 2018 version, right? Oh, this is like the last. I think the last issue of this, second to last issue. Hold up. Wait a minute. There we go. The 8, I think. Oh, this website don't have it ripped. 1 second, boys. I'm gonna find this comic real quick. I hate being told I'm a liar. And I hate being misinformative. Oh, wrong unexpected. That's the old one. Hold on. God, this is getting so annoying. Wasn't it fucking the unexpected? There's some dumbass shit like that, wasn't it? Hold up. I got a thread for him somewhere. I'll find that shit there. Okay, here we are. So, yo, boys, you see this scan here? Yo, this scan is Mandrake getting one-tapped by Alden Quench, who's a total fucking loser. So much so we basically never see this guy again. Okay? And you think, wait a minute, Lumos, you're being that guy. You're just not showing everything all over again. To be fair, Mandrake was shredding up the majority of people here. I think he ripped out her heart, and then I think he tore off one of Hawkman's wings. So, like, imagine being somewhere around the, like, ranges of like these dudes. But then like the funny part is this shit. Okay, hold up, let me pull it up. Yo, Mandrake says, what have you done? And he says, I set you free. Yo, I turned the vampire god into something good. Once you fed on positive matter, now you're sustained by dark matter, meaning your own being betrays you, and as a result of that, he goes back to the dark multiverse. And he never comes back. He can come back whenever he wants, right? He's Mandrake. Oh wait, he had to go back there because... Hold up, let's go back to it. That dude got nuked by those powers, and had his fundamental abilities and concept changed by them, forcing him to be a cuck in the dark multiverse for all eternity or die. Sounds pretty accurate to me. But I could be wrong. Let's continue.
In my bedroom trying to make this video, and
oh, he's in his bedroom.
Cat
no,
that gets yelled at by the other guy, by the other cat in that funny meme, and like, I just don't even know what to say at this point. Like, I understand.
Okay, so he's saying that he's teaching me like a child, when I'm being misinformative when I pulled up the scans and showed you what I said verbatim happened in the comics. I'll be to be fair, like, I'll admit I was very colorful in terms of like how I phrased it, but like that's what happened, boys.
Understand, as you said in the beginning of your video, you want your subscribers to pay you and support you.
Yeah,
but
hold on.
You
How's
are
that a
giving
bad thing?
them misinformation because of your lack of research.
Okay, the misinformation, the only thing we've gotten misinformed so far, he was wrong on.
And willingness to actually go read it. You
I've read it all.
called out in the comments
Every appearance
here by somebody. This user called you out, Lumos, and your response to that was to just chuck it out and say something completely different. This guy in the comments debunked
Who called me out?
whoever that is. It's.
Can you guys find the person who debunked me here? Notice how, like, am I stupid? Can I not see what's going on here? Like, I've read every single line on this entire page and I don't see that. Like, maybe I'm the dumb one, but like, if anything, I didn't even follow up with small 750 here. Mandrak absolutely got one-shotted by a weak human using the fire's creation at Losis. I'm not even saying that guy was a weak human. Like, I wouldn't say that guy's a weak human. I just said Mandrak, that dude, got nuked by powers and had, like, those powers, the fires of creation and destruction, and had his fundamental abilities and concepts changed by them, forcing him to be a cuck in the dark multiverse for all eternity or die. Everything there is accurate. Nobody here called me out. This guy just asks me what my thoughts on it are.
It's your job as an educator to come back and say, yeah, I got some information wrong. I'll do better in the future. But you doubled down and you kept up with the misinformation. You didn't go.
Okay, misinformation. Okay, remember misinformation? This misinformation? Yeah, remember this information? This misinformation? Anybody else remember that? This is pretty funny stuff if you ask me. This is like almost comedy tier. I hate the guy, but I do expect better arguments.
You didn't even bother. You just kept up with the misinformation. Nobody should subscribe to you and pay you for that. Nobody should do that. So I understand.
Hey, by the way, like and subscribe. Feel free. Anybody got a chat dono? Feel free to drop it. Just to rage. Yo, can you guys please give me can you guys please just give me raw money? Yes, give me the many monies, because all I care about is your monies. Like, come on, bro. Are you for real right now? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think I think that just because I don't even know. I don't know how to respond to that, bro. I want to be a YouTuber full time. Hell yeah. Look, 90% of these fucking YouTubers out here are nowhere near as accurate as me. I put arguably some of the most scans, and my content is held back by the amount of scans that I put in my content and the amount of time it takes to me to write a script to be genuinely accurate on my higher end scaling videos. So it's weird to me that this guy would say I'm just out here blatantly not using the original comics content when, and what is it with this guy and using scans that don't actually demonstrate anything he says? Like, I really don't get it. Who called me out here? What?
Content specifically to try to make a living on YouTube, but other people don't do that. There are other educators out there who don't want to do that, and they're not gonna pander to misinformation like this just for subscribers, which is clearly what you're doing.
So much.
Any adult who watches your content
Any adult.
knows that's
This is the
what
most
you're doing,
condescending
if they
shit I've
also
ever
read
heard.
comic books and understand what the authors have said. Now,
Well, clearly
I'm
you're
calling
not
you a
reading the
liar.
page.
I'm calling you a great businessman, is what you're doing here.
I'm also a
playing
great
to
businessman, I
whatever
agree with that.
the general consensus is to
Hold
keep
on.
those
The
subscribers.
general consensus of CAS is not that he's down, is not that, like, where I'm putting him. Most people still consider me and what I did for CAS as a highball. I'm breaking new grounds in the CAS territory that's not just filtered through a layer of a fucking bias lens. How? 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 Yo, this is crazy. And to be fair, I'll admit, I used to be a businessman. He's not wrong in the fact that I would consider myself at least a decent businessman. But like, the way I conduct my business is I create solid material, and if people like it, then they can pay for it. I'm not out here like demanding anybody pay me. Like, what is this, bro? I make money the same way he does. The exact same way he does. He may not ask for it, but that's being a shitty businessman. If you're not taking advantage of your platform on YouTube, then you're an idiot. That's the whole point of being on YouTube, is to make a platform so you can actually do this full time. If people don't like that, they don't have to be here. And that goes for anybody in the crowd. Like, if you guys don't like my content or you don't want to support me, don't. Like, you don't have to do that for anybody. That's capitalism, baby, at the finest. What is happening right now? This is the most grandstandy shit I've ever heard.
But that's not the right way. That's not the ethical way
I do have
to move
headphones.
forward with educating children and younger teens about art and mythology. You can't.
Oh, I'm corrupting the younger teens for more mythology. No, all my viewers, all of you guys watching this video, I'm corrupting you. I'm the Mandrake of YouTube. Yo, I'm the Mandrake of YouTube, boys. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when Lumos comes for you, huh? Yo, somebody clip that. Somebody give me a clip of that, dude. I swear to God. The YouTube boogeyman, man.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fast forward through your video as much as I can and hit as many points as I can on what you were claiming in your video. And I'm going to try to debunk them in the nicest way I can. And I don't want drama. I want you to learn. I want you to be a good friend. I want you to come around and ask me more questions on this, because it's clear that you and your group...
I would, but you threw me out of your fucking Discord group. And I was nice in there. I was the nicest person in the universe. You can ask anybody on Discord, dude. I'm the most pleasant guy ever whenever it comes to conversations. Like, especially when I'm in somebody else's Discord, bro. I'd never fuck with somebody else's Discord like that. I've got some of the strictest fucking regulations inside my Discord out of anybody's whenever it comes to speech and how we interact with one another. Like, bro, what is going on right now? It's not my job to contact you at all. Why would I contact you? We disagree on our points, and I listen to your content, but I don't have to contact you. Shouldn't your best points be inside your content? That's why I made this CAS video, right? So you can actually like respond to the video. And hold on, it's funny because like there's this weird thing where there's like this weird thing going on where he's making it sound like I should have always been going after him, when the funny thing is that he debunked me when I didn't even know who the guy was. he actually debunked my first video a year after it released. I didn't even know. So like, if anybody should be reached out first, it's him, because I didn't know the guy. I'm not on his side of the internet. This guy had less than like 400 subscribers. Not even that whenever he first started making content on me, I'm pretty sure. So like, what? But to be fair, I'll agree with him. The first 5 minutes of his video has been like the fundamental opposite of how he viewed mine. Incredibly edited, but like literally zero content so far that has actually landed. So I hope the rest of the video is even better. Because if anything, guys, I want you to hear me out here. My views have changed radically on a variety of things over the last 5 years whenever it comes to comic books. I will adapt and I'll change, but I'm not just gonna believe anything. And I think that's gonna be your pitch to me today, is I'll have to believe anything. If I was to guess, it's gonna be something like separate canon theory, Grant Morrison statements, and I know more than you, you're dumb. Yo, I'm willing to bet those are the, if not all of them, those are going to be the most crucial arguments that we see here. Now, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing better things. I'm looking forward, maybe he's got some really good content, but let's go. Let's see what happens.
Just aren't educated on this. You have
it's
no
not
clue
educated.
what
I
this
have no
comic book
clue.
was about.
I have no clue what the comic book was about. Hold on. No clue what the comic book was about. Since I have no clue, you guys can just read this shit. Turned into a cuck in the dark matter multiverse. This guy just became the next Barbados. That's all he did. I don't know why people talking like this is an event that didn't happen. This did happen. Like, the fuck?
Behind it, or, you know, the metaphorical context of what any of this means, the profoundness.
Yeah, I typically just deal in inverse stuff.
Completely, like, absent in all of your videos. That's the point of the story. That's what you're supposed to be educating the other fans about. That's the important part of this. And
the point of the story are things not inside the story. Is that what I heard? There's no way I heard that. Are you saying maybe the philosophy of the comics? There's philosophy inside the comics. They discuss philosophies inside the comics. But what he's referring to is the philosophies external to the comics, which are not applicable. Unless they're referenced in the comics.
Over, like, the most important aspects of this comic book. So,
but okay,
with
hit me
that
up.
said, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play some clips, and I'm going to fact check you on every single one.
Please do fact check the fuck out of me.
Today. So here we go.
Let's see what he's got, boys. Let's see what he's got.
Cass was blinded and wounded beyond repair before he dispersed his form back down into Superman and Ultraman. This demonstrates a clear limitation to his regeneration or his energy reserves.
Okay. What is the criticism here? Hold on. Let's read. Let's, you know what? Since I'm clearly mind hacking all my subscribers, let's read. You're blind, wounded beyond repair. If he cannot repair himself, and he is thought, that means he doesn't have the ability with the power of thought to recreate those thoughts. Clearly.
Energy reserves.
Okay, so in this section, what you're claiming to your subscribers is that the cosmic armor actually is some kind of corporeal being that uses actual energy that's not conceptual. This is the embodiment of story, Lumos.
Yeah, and that story has a limit. That limit was Mandrak blowing out his eyes.
Story degrading and becoming more meaningless is not an energy loss. You're seeing this the completely wrong.
Okay, the thing that powers him is story. And those stories could not repair themselves. That means there's a limitation to those stories. What? Yo, is this like basic logic? And this guy was telling me I was too stupid earlier. He was telling me I was the stupid guy earlier. He can't understand the basics. What is going on here?
I understand it's your viewpoint on it, but objectively, the cosmic armor is the embodiment of all story.
And those stories couldn't heal. Cosmic armor Superman.
To consume that story. He's degrading story. He's erasing it.
He didn't get
there.
He
is not removing.
He didn't destroy all of story. He didn't get there.
The cosmic armor.
Everything was
He's making
saved.
Story more meaningless. He's deleting
the
story.
If he's deleting all those stories, then Superman is getting weaker, and that's a limitation on cosmic armor Superman. Clearly. Hold on. I need a chat check. Does this make sense? Is everyone else does this land with y'all? Because like that was the worst argument I've heard.
And the point of Mandrak again was that the Overvoid made it to consume the story, so it's not an energy loss. You're describing this in a wildly fan
whatever's powering him,
way,
okay?
Other than
the energy of the multiverse, the stories of the multiverse, however you choose to look at it.
The combined idea of Superman and Ultraman's knowledge. Obviously, the hyper story that is the Thought robot contains any and all stories from our multiverse.
True.
So you've just said that the cosmic armor is the hyper story, yet the comic book tells you clearly that the hyper story was trying to kill the cosmic armors. The Overvoid tossing story.
Okay, true. Everything up there is a hyper story. CAS is a part of that hyper story. Yes, that is true. I agree with that.
Into their own ultimate story is what the hyper story is. The hyper story was
and he's a part of that story. He joined that story.
You can't say that
look, there's more.
Is
Every single monitor that's up there has their own individual hyper story, but it all fits inside the larger context of all of the monitors being a hyper story. Him showing up there being the other half of Dax, being a part of that story. Yeah.
Trying to kill itself.
Superman, the person inside, like piloting the machine right now, the consciousness. Yeah, he's referring to himself there because he's the one piloting.
No sense, Lumos.
But It factors up to the point to this specific story, Final Crisis, Superman Beyond,
True.
inside the entire history of DC. This essentially means that you can't retroactively count stories past this point as part of the stories that were utilized within this story.
So in this next section, you're telling your subscribers that the cosmic armor can only be the embodiment of story up to the point in Final Crisis, which is not true, because we've spoken to Steve Orlando in an interview, and he told us that the reason for Mandrak being written the way he was in the 2018 Unexpected series, which is 10 years after Final Crisis, was because of the cosmic armor. The cosmic armor etches "to be continued" on the gravestone, and because of that, Mandrak was rewritten into the Unexpected series as a form of mercy, which is confirmed by the author. So when you tell...
Okay, hold up. This guy's got a bad problem of not having any, like, actual evidence in his scans. Let me read these. Okay, so, well, the first thing we realized is the fires of creation and destruction are basically the same thing, so they're never really harming anything, they're just changing a thing, which is exactly what happened to him. The idea of the previous heroes trying to destroy Mandrak, as we thought, which is why he kept coming back. Matter can neither be erased or destroyed, so Neon realized changing Mandrak's nature was the way to end his threat. Or his thread, I guess. As a creator, the specifics of Mandrak and the Overworld were less interesting than his positioning as the ultimate consumer of life. The ultimate end to the ultimate story. After all, in some senses, the story of his defeat is the story of To Be Continued, which is what we saw at the end. Yes, that's clearly identifying that To Be Continued affected Mandrak as well. Yeah. So, we approached Mandrak as he defined himself, the prime consumer of life, and thought how his nature could be changed, and the function of his consumption could be pivoted to something beneficial to the multiverse. So, we left Mandrak as an all... This is everything I said. Oh, I'll continue, though. I could largely see 2-in-1 type of definition for Mandrak and the Open Void. It's certainly valid. But, since the entire concept of the multiverse and monitors has already been changed in Mandrak's Final Crisis and his appearances in the Unexpected, we choose to focus on what might dance through the raindrops and make sense for both the DCU past and present. So this guy's saying, hey, we rectified pretty much everything going on whenever it comes to the things going on with both Mandrak and CAS. I see nothing here. This is... Everything here reinforces what I'm saying. I don't understand where this guy says, by definition, you can make that argument if you want. That's not what I'm concerned with whatsoever. Mandrak and the Overvoid to me were less interesting than his positioning as the ultimate consumer of life, the ultimate end to the ultimate story, that being our multiverse. So, yeah, that's everything there makes sense. There's nothing there that doesn't make sense. I don't know what this dude's on. That was some Cosmic Armor copium.
Final Crisis was because of the cosmic armor. The cosmic armor etches "To Be Continued."
He does, but that's... I don't disagree with that. Like, where is this argument coming from?
Into the Unexpected series as a form of mercy, which is confirmed by the author. So when you tell people that it's just up to...
So Mandrak is stronger than the creation and destruction, so they just changed him to get rid of him, even though he's immune to those powers? Great comment from one of my subscribers over here. Man, I clearly mind hacked him too much. He knows too much about he knows too much about DC. I mind hacked him too much.
No. We have no idea what else the
Okay, hold up. I gotta turn this down a little bit. I still feel like we might be repping a little bit loud on that. Okay, so hold up. I gotta go back. This is funny as fuck. Okay, so argument 1. CAS can't repair because... Oh, fuck, what was his reasoning for that? Oh, fuck, CAS can't repair because stories. That's what it was. CAS can't repair because stories, lol. Answer... His stories... Oh, hold on. It's not can't. His argument is can repair because stories, lol. His stories... couldn't repair him. Quote, wounded beyond repair by a monitor. 2. Author statement disagrees with you about... Oh, what the fuck was it? Oh, man.
cosmic armor is responsible for. 10 years later, he's still etching a story for the other comic books that we read, literally a decade later. So you can't possibly say that it's only up to Final Crisis. That just simply isn't true.
What? Hold on. Is he saying that because Mandrak continued after Final Crisis, that I have to scale CAS's stories past Final Crisis? Even though we've never seen CAS again. Because he was wounded beyond repair and disassembled himself. Or disassembled his consciousness down back into lower beings. If he shows back up again, that's when I change my mind. That's when you upgrade the scaling. Why would I do that when I haven't even seen him? That doesn't even make any sense. No, it's not even the author statement so much. Mandrak's story continued, and thus the cosmic armor has to. No evidence for his claim. Actually, no, I don't even need to do that. Answer. Okay, so let's go. Let's continue.
This scales up to the limbo, which is where all stories go to die.
You've also claimed that limbo is the place where stories go to die. They go there for the complete opposite reason. They go there to live and continue to exist in a place of total retcon. Limbo is the retcon continuity for most of the fiction that you can think of. It's a shared continuity flow for things that are no longer part of the comic book series.
Yeah, that's where everything that gets forgotten goes. That's where stories go to die. That's when everybody forgets them. They go there. Yeah, that's literally like the death of a story, is when nobody remembers you. When the concept of you is forgotten from the multiverse. And yes, all these things are right. Like, right there, like, I agree with all these things. As a matter of fact, one of the things I actually did get from him here was this concept, believe it or not. Like, so when I say I pick up small things from other people, like this concept right here, I actually didn't believe this until I came across some of his content, and he made some really good arguments for the fact that during Final Crisis, Limbo was like literally the edge of everything, and Nil was in the overvoid. Yeah, like way back, I mean, like 2 years ago or something. But yeah, I mean, he did convince me of something like this for sure. But like, that doesn't change anything about the fact of Limbo being that way. Hold on, let me just go look. Let me just go find my Limbo scans. We can just do this. Let's just do this, man. We can just. I'll be a fun scaling guy today. Limbo is one of the shittiest realms in DC cosmology because like nothing happens there. Hold up, wait a minute. Boom. Where's that dumbass statement of Merryman? I know he's got one in here. Okay. Now, that being said, check it out. Here's the classic one. Home of the Lost and Forgotten Ori. Limbo is the furthest edge of the Manifest DC universe as far as we are aware. This is where Mattery and memory break down. Okay, so that's important to consider. Most stories inside DC do not push past this point. That was the point of Cosmic Armor Superman, or like using Superman inside Cosmic Armor, was because most stories lead to the God Sphere and they die out there. The forgotten stories go to Limbo. Stories don't go past that. That's why the monitors were chilling out there, right? So they could monitor all the stories that exist because... Hold up, I gotta pull it up in another one so I don't doom my comic website. Carnell, let's go. This is like one of the best ones ever. Oh fuck. Oh, where did it open? Holy shit. Where's it at? Oh, no, that's not it. Okay, let's check out this beautiful scan, okay? Ultimately, relentless attacks culminated in Crisis on Infinite Earths, known as our new multiverse, breaking the truce between light and dark. Stories kept growing. They were sent there to seal the stories from growing. Okay, stories all come from the Ori of Worlds. Most stories only extend out into the God Sphere. That's why the monitors overlooked all of our creation in terms of DC, like our home multiverse. This is like easy stuff to find too. And I know this guy's well read. He should be able to like know this stuff.
You've also claimed that Limbo is the place where stories go to die.
Oh yeah, we were a little
Limbo
bit
is the retcon continuity for most of the fiction.
I don't know. I guess maybe if he views like Limbo that way, that's okay. Maybe we're talking ultimate semantics here whenever it comes to that.
Of the comic book series, they go there to live and continue to be. They don't go there to die.
They go there to do nothing. Forgotten.
It's also important to note that stories got much stronger after this event, and since entire layers of cosmology have been added to our cosmology, to DC cosmology since then, obviously things have gotten a lot larger and more dangerous.
So here you're saying that the cosmology got even larger and more dangerous, but the events of Dark Crisis told you that all of that cosmology was still there and nothing changed.
Okay. That's my... all of it is there. I said it expanded. I know that he believes that the monitor sphere did not exist during the events of Final Crisis. It only exists... Oh, I gotta pull this scan up again. Using even Grant Morrison's own words. Because he made the map, okay? The monitor sphere was the dwelling place of the mighty monitor race. Once countless in number, the 52 monitors that remained after the crisis were each tasked with the preservation and study of a separate universe. This is during multiversity, way after the events of the original. That's an entire segment of cosmology that was added underneath the source wall by Grant Morrison that was not there before. And Nil went down there as a result. Like, no one... If he thinks that I don't believe in separate canon theory. I agree it's all one continuity. It's all one shared continuity. But it doesn't change the fact that as time has gone on, just because they're adding to the cosmology doesn't mean that the things that happened before it didn't occur. How does that make any fucking sense? Like, what? What is going on? Yo, I gotta take a second. Where's my chat boys at? I got 20 people hanging out in chat with me, man. How y'all doing? How y'all doing, bro? I gotta take a break. This is giving me the worst headache imaginable. I'm gonna take a second to read my favorite comments. Don't forget, if you guys throw some super chats down low, I'll actually hit you guys up with a few questions. So I'm gonna run through a few of these and see what's up. Okay. Yeah, okay, first one actually. So MJ thinks there's multiple canons that exist and the 2008 cosmology is higher than others. Clearly. I didn't think that he thought the other one still existed in the modern cosmology, but like I don't understand how he rectifies a lot of that positioning. You'd have to ask him on that stuff because one thing I don't want to do is put words in people's mouths. And now, if he's here and he's blatantly saying something, obviously I'm going to react to that because I can grapple with that. But like, I don't want to talk about stuff that he doesn't like know too much about, or not know too much about, or like I don't know too much about his opinion on. So I don't know. Go to him. You can ask him whenever it comes to that stuff. But what I will say is, this is my point.
The only thing that changed was the barrier between the local 52 and the greater Omniverse. The greater Omniverse is not past the source wall. We learned that the entire greater Omniverse is actually within bleed space, and...
What the fuck? So what he's saying is we knew that there were other, like, we knew that we were limited to our localized Ori for sure. They're saying that because we were no longer limited to that 52 Ori, we're back to having an infinite multiverse inside our like home multiverse, right? We're no longer limited to that 52, like you said. But then on top of that, there were other multiverses in the bleed. They just flat out established that as direct canon, not a random guidebook statement. This is like super blatant, whenever it comes to this stuff. The greater omniverse that exists is beyond this. They were just referring to ours as an omniverse simply because it was getting so much more massive, right? They didn't call it a greater omniverse, just a smaller omniverse, right? Now, the omniverse that was included after death metal was them referring to their home multiverse. They say things are bigger than they have ever been before. Now, why is this big? Because, let me find the exact scan that I think I even had in that video really fast. I think I have that in my Ori section. Or was it multiverse as a whole? Hold up, wait a minute. Let me find that death metal scan. Is that it? Nope, not it. 1 second, boys. Here we are. Okay. Well, first, with our past finally set, myriad new futures are opening up. Hypertime heals will likely experience flashes of them, even alternative pasts in pretty epic fashion. Also, sensors indicate some of the dead have returned, not just those who fell in battle. As for the major powers of the old multiverse, we can't seem to find Darkseid. Spooky. That's it. The everything of it. The dark multiverse below us, the House of Heroes at its center, the Earth we were already aware of again, but beyond that, new Earth's growing. Okay, not just Earths, whole multiverses, an infinite web of multiverses. We did not have a statement that I am aware of that the bleed in the post-crisis era had an infinite web of multiverses that existed in it. Only an infinite amount of worlds. So however you want to take that, that's cool. And he also says, the fact is, it's all new. Okay? Now, the monitor sphere was added. We've got all of this information added. Like, bro, the cosmology is obviously getting larger. We've established pretty much everything. The sixth dimension was later on added. Like, bro, like you can't tell me that new pieces of DC cosmology were not added at this point in time. The sixth dimension was never even referenced before. So, like, before like that point in time, we'd never come across it. So clearly there was another realm in DC cosmology we were not aware of, even past Limbo. So like, what? Like, what is this guy's point? I don't get it. I'm trying so hard to understand his point.
The larger area of the Orrery of Worlds that was confirmed in Dark Crisis. So
it did get larger.
Changed. All of the
Hold on, he just said it was added and then said it was never changed. Pariah caused those events to happen, which made us stronger because he was trying to create other worlds. I don't understand. The greater omniverse is different. Like,
the cosmologies were still there, being
the monitor sphere wasn't there either.
Space. We have confirmation.
The hero
so to say
verse was not there either.
Truly, headache worthy at this point, man.
I could be here all day with shit that was added.
It's also important to note that the stories that are contained by CAS are just the stories of our singular multiverse, not the stories of other multiverses out in the overvoid.
So you're saying that the cosmic armor only contains the stories of our multiverse, and then you show a picture of Lucifer flying in the Garbodaka void, which is Prelea, which is the interior void, which is nowhere near the overvoid.
Yep, and here's the thing. Here's the thing with this shit. It's funny because he always tries to get me on using map stuff. He's like, "Oh my god, the map, bro, the map," and then the second the map doesn't land with something that he believes in, suddenly he's going to sources that aren't even in the comics. Okay, I want you guys to look. Imagine if I brought up a real world mythology scan that's not even canonical to that real world mythology, although it might be accurate, to define DC cosmology as a totality. There might be influences from this. As a matter of fact, there is influences, but that doesn't mean they're the same thing. Funny how he brings up this, that's a void, right? That's the other void. Okay. If that's the, and I quote, other void. Hold on, where's that? Holy shit. The questions? Nope, there we are. If that's the quote unquote other void, where's the other void at? Why wouldn't there be a reference on here of the other void? Oh my god, and this is the funny part too. This is the funny part. He says that since they say void all the time, lol, right? Check this out. Check this out. Oh my god, where's my CAS section? CAS. Where are you at? Where's Ultraman's dumbass? Come on, Ultraman, where are you at? Where are you at? Where's the memes? Oh, damn, I don't even fucking have it in this one. I have to have it in the... Oh, it'd be in my Mandrake scans. Yeah, because that's a good scan for Mandrake, actually. Oh my god, it's gonna take me forever to fucking find this shit. Hold up. I'm just gonna look up the issue. It's literally the last panel of the first fucking issue. This is like the funniest scan ever. So anybody who's like,
those voids aren't the same. There's no possible way you could ever understand that they're not the same. There's multiple voids, even though the map of the multiverse doesn't show it.
Okay. Okay, I want you guys to, look at the scan. Oh, where's that? Oh, wait, was it this one? No, it's the next one. I take it back. It was the next scan. Issue 2. Page 1. There we are. I thought it was the last scan. Nope, it was the next one. See, I am fallible, boys. Okay, let's do this. Okay. There is a god, and he hates us all. He's building a bridge from the void into the multiverse. The funny part is, the void he's building himself up from has to be like outside of Nil, because that's where he goes. Rip. He refers to it as the void. Somebody in literally Grant Morrison's story refers to the overvoid as the void. Okay. Like the comedy.
Do you know anything about religion? Do you understand?
You don't have to understand the foundations of religion to understand what happens inside comic books.
And Lumos, after the 7 million videos that I've made detailing what the absolute void is and what the Garbhodaka is, that's the Sea of Brahma.
So, where a lot of people get lost, and this is a major problem. I've got a video talking on concepts like this. I'm working on the script now. But like, there's a major problem in the community with people who they think that they can find some sort of genuine truth to everything inside a fictional verse that has inspirations of religion in it. There are some things you can draw from it for sure, but you can't define everything in one cosmology just because it was inspired by something else. That's one of the worst arguments you can make. Just because I make a just because I make a character called Kagu, and he's an alien from another planet who uses ki and martial arts to beat up all sorts of people, and then eventually becomes a super Sajin. Like, clearly there's a lot of inspiration there, but that doesn't mean the cosmology is the exact same. That would be a really bad argument to make.
That Lucifer was flying in. So why are you talking about the overvoid and flashing a picture of this void from the Lucifer series when you know full well that that void is not the overvoid? It's not the monitor mind. It's defined completely different. It's defined that way by Lucifer repeatedly in the comic books. We have 3.
Yeah, it is considered. It's considered non-existence to anything from a multiverse. That is true. The overvoid is perceived as literally nothingness to everyone. It's beyond any of them. The monitor, like the overvoid itself, has like a consciousness, but the average person isn't perceiving that, right? Like, and the monitor, like the overvoid is a concept having its existence, like isn't this isn't something that's tackled in these series. They don't go into those topics. There was no need to.
Theories that confirm that void is the Sea of Brahma Garbhodaka, and it's nowhere even close to the overvoid. So why are you continuing to say
I want to see the
No,
map that
you
this
gotta
guy
start
has
getting this-
of like his version of the multiverse. Like his version of the multiverse has got to be like, hold up, did I still have that up? Oh no, fuck, hold on, let me find my maps. His version of the multiverse is just like 8 extra voids in like the monitor sphere. Like, I don't understand how you can say that all of the voids that have taken place are somewhere in the multiverse somewhere. Like, and then Grant Morrison didn't put those in there. Like, you'd be saying Grant Morrison is bad at making this map. Like, weirdly enough, I wonder if he doesn't like the way Grant Morrison put together this map. Like, he's the one who always is like using this map as like the ultimate end-all be-all grand slam, and this map is heavily flawed. Okay, heavily flawed for the modern day. There's no way you can actually present a DC map that would be accurate, but due to the extensions of DC cosmology, the dark multiverse being below this, the antimatter universe also being a parallel for the majority of this map up to the source wall, like you'll never be able to make that map. But the map he's talking about is like inventing things here. And all of those things were established when Grant Morrison created this map in the first place. So you'd have to be you'd be doing a disservice to Grant Morrison by saying that those voids aren't the same, because you'd be saying he was too unintelligent to put those voids in here appropriately. And I can't respect that. I don't think Grant Morrison's that bad of a writer or creator.
That's right, and letting your subscribers know what this is all about and what these locations are defined as right in the comic book. And worse, you keep saying that there's other multiverses and creations in the overvoid, but the author and the comic tell you
the reason why is none of those multiverses were made with more crisis energies than they were connective energies. We were born flawed. Or you could even take the Great Darkness argument, right? The Great Darkness screamed and our multiverse was born flawed. We are the flawed multiverse on the void. Everything else follows nothing but connective energies. Hold on, let me find the scan. We're doing this today, boys. We're doing this today. Hold up, I got distracted over here. The map don't have a 5th and 6th dimension above the multiverse. So the 5th dimension is all the realms in between, essentially. Like everything inside the map. That's probably the way I would put it. The lightning strikes are probably pretty respectful of like the 5th dimension. The 5th dimension's territory across everything. But the 6th dimension should be on the outside if you believe Scott Snyder. If you just use the comic book material, I could definitely see arguments for within. Okay, fuck, what was I doing? I forgot like 5 seconds ago. Somebody remind me. I get so distracted. Oh yeah, I was looking up oh my god, the Perpetua scan. Perpetua. Where's my Can Walk the Overvoid section? Okay, where is arguably one of the best scans ever? There it is. This is one of my favorite scans, bro. The artwork on this is so goated. It's so lit, dude. And plus, it just has so much good comic book information over here. Okay. So if he wants to play the info game, let's do it. Okay, her goal is to create a multiverse with no memory. Hold up. Let's go a little bit further. Throughout the void, beings like Perpetua are tasked with starting multiverses. They do this by using connective energy born of the presence of the source. These beings birth a reality, then die, giving themselves a baby multiverse. Okay. Connective energies. But the mother of our multiverse started our reality with crisis energies. Her goal is to create a multiverse no memory could live forever. We also have the Great Darkness statements from from Justice League Incarnate that literally says we're flawed because the Great Darkness screamed. Like, this is so easy, dude. These aren't even hard points to debunk.
you that it's non-dual. Once you get into that place, everything is meaningless. There is nothing else beyond the source wall but the unknowable and the overvoid.
That's not true. Hold on. Beyond the source wall, Perpetua came from beyond the source wall. She wasn't there when the source wall was even made. All the hands of the source, the judges of the source, they're all from there. If the source is out there, the judges literally hang out with the source. What?
Are no other multiverses. The Ori of Worlds is the Omniverse. That's what you're not understanding. You think there are other multiverses.
The Ori of World is the Omniverse, but there's a greater Omniverse that exists past that. Okay? Do you want proof for that? Like, we could do that. The Chronicler is literally an agent of the source that comes from the Overvoid. I'll find the Chronicler scan. He's not too far away from... He's in my Agents of the Source scan. It's like the first scan he's on, too. Yeah. There's nothing out there. Well, that's weird, because this guy stated as directly from the Overvoid. Yo, and this guy's supposed to educate me? Oh, shit. Hold up. We going back to White Bat, boys. Let's do some Medusa action. Oh, wait, nope. Short one. Gotta follow up. Ooh, this one sounds badass. Let's go with this one, boys. Let's go with some classic shit here.
That isn't the case. They're all inside of the Ori of Worlds. There's nothing else in the Overvoid. It's just the Overvoid. Going into the Overvoid means you cease to be.
I'm just gonna do this for a few seconds. Guys. How funny is this? There's nothing else in the Overvoid. This is like my new favorite thing. I think I could do this for a long time. I've even stopped taking these fucking... Oh, how many points have I even fucking missed? Actually, I haven't. I think I'm on the same one. Yeah, I'm literally on the same one. Okay, hold on. Other voids aren't the same as the Overvoid. Answer. And literally nothing exists past the source besides source, monitor, mind, and Overvoid. Or isn't that what it says? Hold on, let me find the map so I'm not misquoting him. I don't want to be misquoting because I know he used the exact words off the map. And if anything, I want my debunks to be very, very, very accurate. Okay, maps. I just need to keep... Is that the map? Nope, that was the meme. I need to keep that map up there. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to keep this bad boy, okay? Oh, and the unknowable, which is essentially... like the Great Darkness, right? And the Great Darkness also exists out there too. So I'm being generous saying it's that. But even if you don't, you could say the Great Darkness here if you really wanted to. Chronicler, judges of the source, hands of the source, Silkman, angels roamed here. Let's see, presence left to here. Fuck, what else we got? Who else just exists out there? I could be fucking here all goddamn day, dude. So, I feel like this is good. Oh, the source. Like, bro, clearly that's not true. Like, clearly. Come on now. Oh, yeah, and, Ultraman refers to the Overvoid. Void as the void. Okay. 4. Let's go on. Let's keep the train rolling, boys.
Remember, Lucifer.
Yo, don't forget that this is indeed a donation stream, guys. Hey, if you guys want your questions heard inside the chat, if you guys hit me with a question, you throw me at least $2 or more, you already know I will answer any question that you have, especially if it's anything pertaining to anything here. So go ham, okay? I am not here to stop you.
Lucifer was begging to go to non-existence. When he was finally sent to non-existence,
yeah, because it's seen as non-existence to everyone.
Was deleted.
Our multiverse is seen as existence. I don't think that Lucifer, a guy who is rolling through the fucking God sphere and limbo and higher realms like that, I don't think he's going into a void somewhere inside like the fucking Ori of Worlds or shit. Like, that's so fucking crazy.
Deleted the moment that they get sent into total non-being. So you're telling me that the presence and Lucifer get deleted as soon as they enter the overvoid, but also there's other creations out there that are...
Well, no, what I'm saying is characters like the Presence and Lucifer are strong enough to traverse the void. We know beings can traverse the void like that. The Cosmic Raptor did it. The Chronicler does it. The Source does it. The Source's avatars do it.
Creations are stronger than the Presence. As soon as you go into the overvoid, your concept gets deleted.
Unless you're strong enough to deny that. Why didn't Mandrake get deleted? Oh, don't want to talk about that, do we?
The very idea of you gets lost. The other creations that you're saying exist in the overvoid.
This is comic curator's video, by the way.
Giga gods like Lucifer and the Presence automatically get deleted as soon as they touch it.
They don't. Where's the evidence? Hold on. Name one time. This guy he's so critical of everything I say. And notice, when I do get my shit together, when I do make a video, I have every single fact in there. And unlike his videos, my content actually has the supporting evidence for it inside the video. What he is saying is there's no evidence that the Presence ever got deleted by walking into the overvoid. How would he know that's true? How do I give you a scan for something that never occurred? How does that make any sense?
Clearly, CAS doesn't represent the entire overvoid as many believe, as he couldn't even tell what happened to Mandrake after he fell off of Nil into the overvoid.
Okay, so you're claiming that the Cosmic Armor can't see what Mandrake was doing in the Unexpected series when he fell through the multiverse, but I've just told...
No, he can't, because he disassembles himself afterwards, and that story takes place entire cosmologies later, or entire continuities later. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
That the author confirmed that the Cosmic Armor himself wrote Mandrake to be that way in the Unexpected series.
He didn't write him that way. Hold on. Let's go back 3 seconds. Instead of using what Comic Curator says, let's find what CAS thinks. I can hear him still screaming all the way down until even the idea of him is lost. If he's all stories and the idea of Mandrake is lost, Mandrake is now outside of his vision. And, like, bro. Overvoid. And
okay, so
if you continue looking at that scan on this side, it says until the monitor mind engulfs him entirely, and he's gone. He ceases to exist. Cass doesn't know what the fuck's going. He didn't write shit for him. He thought his story was gone. That's just a blatant lie.
Even tell what happened to Mandrake after he fell off of Nil into the
What is going on?
Okay, so you're claiming that the Cosmic Armor can't see what Mandrake was doing in the Unexpected series.
Hold on, and in this scan, nothing here says Cosmic Armor Superman wrote that story for Mandrake. And with the added context of him not being aware of what happened to Mandrake, it wouldn't make sense that he could write his story. And Superman himself would not have left Mandrake in a place, or would not have, like, let Mandrake maintain himself with how large of a threat he was. He didn't even have that chance. He barely threw him off the side, grabbed his shit, and grabbed the side of the wall before he fell off himself. Like, dude, read your own scans. This is a
fell
problem
through the
every time I
multiverse.
do
But
these.
I've just told you that the author confirmed that the Cosmic Armor himself wrote Mandrak to be that way.
That he never says that. You will not find. He doesn't even say the word Cosmic Armor Superman. Does he? Oh my god, he doesn't even say the word Cosmic Armor Superman. This author legitimately says, like, the specifics of Mandrak and the Overvoid to me were less interesting than his position as the ultimate consumer of life. The end to ultimate story being our multiverse. He doesn't even want to touch up on Cosmic Armor Superman. What is happening right now? Like, what is this, dude? This is impressive.
In the Unexpected series. I understand that you don't want to listen to authors when they say things that
I'd
you
love
don't
to
want.
listen to authors
But
if it's
you're
reinforced
gonna
in the
be an
story.
educator,
Or if it's
and
something that's not
you're gonna
reinforced in
try
the
to
story.
answer questions for people that come in and are curious.
Okay, well,
about
if you're going to be an educator and you're going to play this condescending ass game, maybe you should learn to fucking read. He never says shit, bro. He never says shit about Cosmic Armor Superman dictating Mandrak's form from that point on. This dude does not say that. Hold on, does the guy asking the question even bring up Cosmic Armor Superman? He doesn't. Okay.
the mythology of the things that we love. My friend, you have to respect
Impressive.
the content creator explaining the things that aren't explained in their comic books and their fictional stories. This is what the author said. You're saying the
author
complete
didn't
opposite
say that.
of what Steve Orlando told us. Why are you doing that?
Long was Mandrak lost in the Overvoid before he fell into the Dark Multiverse? And before you ask, yes, this is the same Mandrak from the one in Final Crisis, as he...
And before you ask, he's the same Mandrak from Final Crisis. The author literally tells you no, he's not.
No, let's go back. Let's go back to how bad this is. This kills me. Yo. In some sense, of the story of his defeat is the story of to be continued, right? So we must approach Mandrak as he defined himself, the prime consumer of life. Oh fuck, where is it? Oh fuck, hold on. I gotta go back to fucking rehear that. It's not the same. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, sorry, I got distracted myself. Holy shit, this is the funniest shit ever.
The Dark
Okay, wait
Multiverse.
for it,
And
wait for
before
it.
you ask, yes,
Superman cast me into the Overvoid. What other... Do you have evidence Superman cast other Mandraks into other Overvoids? Or like cast another Mandrak into an Overvoid at a separate time? Hit me with that story. You will provide me the best story I've ever seen. The author himself is saying this is the continued story. How do you simultaneously say this is not the continued story, but it is? I'm like dumbfounded right now, dude. What is going on? Like, and so he's like, yo, this is a different continuity where a Superman that wasn't referenced through a Mandrak that was not referenced prior into the Overvoid. That all just happened off panel and nobody knows about it. That's the most copium shit I've ever fucking heard. Holy shit, dude. How could it not be the same Mandrak? I thought Mandrak was so powerful that he was beyond retcons. Dude, Comic Curator is unironically downplaying Mandrak. Yo, this is the kind of content you guys get on my channel, okay? The kind of content you guys get on my channel is the guys who rep characters the hardest unironically coming out as downplayers of the character. Like, how weird is that, dude? Like, I can't even, like, how do I work with that? Oh, I gotta change this music up. This shit was too dead for me. We going on the synthwave groove, bro. It's got a better tune. Oh my gosh, I just realized I'm streaming without a wired connection. Hopefully this shit is good quality. Yo, let me know if this is good quality streaming to you guys. I didn't even realize. Okay, let's continue though.
this is the
That's
same
super funny.
Mandrak from
That's
the
super
one in
funny.
Final Crisis, as he...
And before you ask, he's the same Mandrake from Final Crisis. The author literally tells you no, he's not. It's his own new version of it.
Even in your own...
What are you not seeing here?
No! That is not what he said!
Lumos.
Yo, we can't read!
Lumos. You can't just go the opposite route and completely deny that. You can't do that. Now, I understand you can.
The story of To Be Continued.
If you want to deny it, that's totally fine, but you have
The story of that was not over. Yes. Well, hold on. Does he think whenever Cosmic Armor Superman wrote To Be Continued on that tombstone, that writing that was so powerful that he hacks the story of Mandrake inside the Overvoid to land in the dark multiverse, but then that not be the same version of him? There's like 8,000 things wrong with that. That's like so dumb.
At least tell your subscribers that this information exists from the author. Can you please do that in your future videos? I would appreciate it if you do that.
I would appreciate it if you had good content whenever it comes to debunking me.
Keep up with the top tiers of the entire DC greater Omniverse, including threats from the Overvoid.
Yo, this guy knows his stuff right here.
Source, like Perpetua, the Judges of the Source, the Archangels, or the Chronicler. We haven't.
So in this next section, you're saying that Lucifer and the Archangels, and the Presence and the Hands and the
none of them were here for that.
Judges of the Source and the Source are all more powerful than the Cosmic Armor, which simply isn't the case. Let me show you why.
Okay.
The Pax Day army was set up by the Presence to take out the army of Lucifer. Gabriel by himself was enough to defeat Lucifer in his prime. We saw that in the comic book. The Pax Day, plus a lot of other characters, fired on Rox Ogama.
I don't think he fought even his prime, but okay.
Monitor who had his monitor status stripped, who is not even remotely close to the original Mandrake in power or the Cosmic Armor.
Yeah, and they killed the Green Lanterns. Fucking killed the shit out of him.
Doesn't even
with Superman.
Him. In fact, Rox Ogama doesn't even notice that he was fired on by the army of God. Now, one thing that a lot of scalers
where's the army of God firing and attacking him?
Why is the Pax Day angry at Rox Ogama? Why are they pissed off and want revenge on Rox Ogama? There's no reason for it. He didn't apparently do anything to a lot of other scalers, right? No, he's the guy who ate Universe 51. The god of Universe 51 is the Presence. If you read Final Crisis...
The god of every universe is the Presence.
Revelation, they tell you...
Oh, this guy thinks the Presence is limited to being inside a universe. Yo, that's jacked. The events of Kirby's shit also have a source wall. That doesn't mean just because somebody shows up and eats the universe, they eat everything outside of and connected to that. Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Kane and the
what
Spectre
the fuck?
repeatedly tell you that the old god is dead. The Presence died. The ending of
the Presence isn't a universal spirit that only exists inside one universe. Does he think that the Presence inside the Lucifer stuff is like was killed inside that story? Is that really the argument?
Presence brings the fifth world. That was the prophecy. The Spectre and the Radiant confirm that they cannot perish unless the Presence is dead first. Then after all of that, Rox Ogama throws the corpses of the Spectre and the Radiant down on the floor and says, hey, here's the servants of God.
That's funny. Darkseid did the same thing.
That can't happen unless the Presence is dead.
That's just not true. That is just not true. The Spectre got his ass fucking murked by Darkseid at one point in time, right? So, like, saying that they can't die in any shape, way, or form is just wrong. And Mandrake's powerful enough to kill characters like the Spectre. That's not mind-blowing to me. Like, I don't understand.
It's not even opinion. That's what the comic book says. So when you...
in that very story, in this exact story, he was going to destroy all of magic. And he was gonna die afterwards. That's funny.
Tell us that Lucifer and the Presence are more powerful.
Hold on.
than
He thinks the
cosmic-
Presence is dead in the current day, even though we have references to the Presence in death metal. I hope you guys know how silly this argument is.
armor. No, that's not the case. The context of the cosmic armor includes all of DC, all of Marvel.
Okay, this is something I've been waiting for. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm making a whole video on this down the way. This is one of the dumbest fucking arguments ever. And yeah, I'm being brutal with this one because it's fucking true. Okay, so let's read this. I'll get a little bit closer. I suggested to Dan, if you imagine a champagne glass and you picture all these bubbles rising and giving form to one another, that's what the real multiverse looks like. It's on a bigger scale, it's infinite, and these bubbles, there's so many of them out there that exist. There's like the Marvel multiverse, and there's like the DC multiverse, and over there is like the Archie multiverse. I figure it gives a scope that every comics universe exists somewhere in there. But the DC universe is the one we're familiar with, the Ori of Worlds we called it. That's what's floating in the source with multiple multiverses. Okay, two different ways you can read this. You could say that Grant Morrison himself believes that the DC cosmology entirely contains absolutely every fiction that ever exists. Okay? And don't question any of the things you would think about whenever it comes to criticizing that. Okay, number two, you can read it as, I use this as inspiration for the way I create my multiverse. Okay, if you don't take the second one, you're insane, okay? Because there's something that takes a very, very, very large precedence whenever it comes to comic books and stories and things along those lines. Any author can claim anything they want. But you know what? That first option gets debunked by any other author who makes that same claim towards any other continuity, right? Or, say, for example, any other verse that literally just has your verse seen as a fiction inside of it. That's garbage scaling, all right? There's like 8,000 easy ways to do it. Clearly, the inspiration was to have something like that, but they have no rights to own these things. That's why they don't put it in any of their material. That's why this interview can't be held as anything legitimate, okay? Now, what you're saying is now we can freely interact with Marvel and the Archie Comics Sonicverse because, what, there's no limits on the 52 worlds that exist anymore? So you're saying that all cosmologies fit there? What about other statements from other verses? Like, what do you do about that? It's just so fucking dumb. No author can individually make a statement that I own other businesses against their will. It doesn't work that way. It legitimately does not work that way. And the only people who use this kind of argumentation are people who just want to sound much cooler than they are. Now, if you want to take this at a high end and say that it does, cool. Most verses have something similar. Most verses reference other verses within their cosmology. Good luck rectifying that. You'll never win.
All of these other sections of the Orrery of Worlds that, again, the authors have told us is the context of the final.
Okay, and it's funny here because here he uses this as a follow-up to the last one to make it sound way cooler. In my view, the general rule of thumb is that each of these alternate worlds could be treated as their own potential franchise rather than squandered for their own disposable canon. Okay. Major Comics 8 should reflect the actual Marvel universe. Reflect. That doesn't mean it is. If I make the Farvel universe and it has Gulk, that doesn't mean it's the same thing. Because it's supposed to be representation doesn't mean it's the same thing. You literally cannot. You can't grant all the same cosmology to a universal structure that exists somewhere in the bleed. It doesn't work that way. A structure as large as Marvel cosmology. Unless you think Marvel cosmology is a fucking universe. What the fuck?
Crisis lore. I understand again that you don't want to accept that. That's totally fine, but you have to at least tell people in your videos. You have to let
I showed them the
subscribers
scan.
know that this information is out there.
I
and
did.
It's up to them.
I posted the scan in my video. It's funny you don't show that. I posted that scan in there. And I said, although many of these statements are used, I don't think they're viable. This is why I don't think they're viable. Because like I said, any other verse could just say DC's inside Marvel or whatever, right? Like, that'd be so dumb.
Discern which path they want to take. Do they want to respect the author, or do they
Yeah.
not want to?
Any verse that says, as a member of chat says down here, my completely brainwashed chat, clearly. Marvel also said that there is a book that contains all of any fiction. Well, guess that includes DC. Damn, got him. That was real hard work for
Do
scaling.
they want to respect the guidebook that the author wrote, or do they not want to respect
What
the author's
guidebook?
guidebook? That's their choice. You need to give them that choice. You're not giving them that choice. You keep saying that
That's
the
not a
source
guidebook.
is beyond the cosmic armor. The source.
Okay. The source, even in his own words, is beyond the source wall. Okay. Let's just keep that in mind. Let's just let's remember that.
Is the entity, the God entity, the Ein Sof Or of DC Comics. Right next to DC Comics in the Orrery of Worlds is Marvel. Earth 41 is the Spawn universe. That's the Spawn cosmic.
Hold on. Earth 41 is the Spawn universe. Let's find out how much he lied to me. Oh, it's not a map, so I gotta go back to Orrery. Where's my Orrery scans? Let's see how funny this one is, boys. This is gonna be comedy. Let's see here. Earth 41. Spore Dino Cop and Friends. Was that what I saw? I'll admit, I'm not the most well-read on fucking Spawn. Spore Dino Cop Nightcracker. I don't see Spawn reference there. That's a little weird. He's like the most popular character from there. I'm pretty sure Spore and Dino Cop are fucking DC properties. Hold on, let's find out. Spore, maybe that's like the meme one of it. DC Comics. Oh man, for real. Holy shit. Yeah, this guy is just the images of Spawn, and he's a fucking Swamp Thing. He's just a Swamp Thing. Oh my god. Bro, this is so bad. Oh, I shouldn't have deleted those. Fuck. Oh well. That's funny. Okay. Oh, hold up. We weren't done yet. Earth 41. Okay, that's the OG. Let's see if I can find the old one. Oh, fuck. I'll probably be here all day looking for this old 41. Yeah, I'll be here all day looking for this damn 41. I'm sure even on the old map, it's the same. It's the exact same thing because most of the original 52 stay the way that they are. So that's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Yeah, Spawn's owned by another company. That's why. That's why it's stupid. Like, hold up. Sources beyond the source wall, Lumos 2023. Apparently that's like fucking... Apparently that's the new meta, bro. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Cosmology with the Man of Miracles. So, you're not understanding the way the context is laid
Keep in mind, real world, whenever it comes to this, is literally just a world in the Orrery, the way they use that, so...
out. The cosmic armor is the embodiment of the entire Orrery of Worlds and the sphere of gods above it. And every other fictional sphere of god. They all have their own. Marvel does.
No, their cosmology does not include the sphere of gods. That's not how it works. They have an entire different multiverse structure than we do. With like, it's very foundationally different. Why would you try to say that like the other multiverses that exist in the Bleed have separate god spheres? No, the god sphere should be strong enough to affect them all. Which is even more proven in the modern day because we have characters even past us that literally are still bound by like what we're doing. So that doesn't even make any sense.
Doesn't have endless.
They don't have their own.
They have Oblivion,
higher
and the House
end
of Ideas,
scaling,
and the Far Plane, and every all these other places like that. And
that would just mean we're connected, not it's contained. That wouldn't even make any sense.
Spawn has their own. They don't have, you know, a dreaming.
So what he's saying is it's just all the 50. So he's downplaying CAS again. He's saying that CAS, like, bro, why would you do that, man? Holy shit. This gives me so much cancer. That's so hard to get through these,
that
man.
Is a completely different cosmology with their own god, equivalent of the presence and the source. The source is from DC Comics. It's not the one above all. The one above all is in the cosmology section of Earth 8. That's the context.
No, it's not. Because DC doesn't own the rights to Earth 8. And even in the scan you had earlier, they specifically say it should reflect. It's not the same thing.
The context of this story is everything outside of fictional space. The source is in plain time.
Everything outside of fictional space inside their cosmology.
One above all is in plain time. The Man of Miracles is in plain time. Above plain time is Earth 33 that contains every fictional space that there is.
Only that is written within our specific multiverse.
Above fictional space is hypertime. Every possible variant of every other thing below it. The monitors of Nil oversee that hypertime. Again, the
hypertime is structures God sphere level characters mess with. This isn't impressive.
Context that you're not telling your subscribers is that Grant had a bad drug trip.
Yo, I don't tell you these guys.
Some cosmic.
Hold on. If you think that all I think about is Grant Morrison, if he's just like this coked out loser, bro, that's not what I say about Grant Morrison. I like these stories. I just don't like people to take them way out of fucking context. Like, holy shit.
They took him elsewhere.
It's like unparalleled.
And Grant was shown all the truths of existence. Grant then wrote those characters as the monitors of Nil, who oversee everything. That's the context of what they are.
Okay, your argument is that the real Grant Morrison in the actual real world we live in, not in Earth 33, the actual real genuine world we live in, is... he's saying that we are contained by Cosmic Armor Superman with this argument in the real world.
Contextually from DC Comics. I've told you this repeatedly. You have to...
Because Earth 33 is contained inside the Orrery of Worlds. And God sphere level characters like Darkseid and even other heroes like President Superman can fucking go there. It was blown up with the rest of the multiverse plenty of other times.
Your subscribers, all of this other information, and I understand and respect your viewpoint, dude, but you're not showing your subscribers 90% of...
No, I don't show them content that isn't viable. That's the difference. Is I have like standards.
All the other information out there,
and they're high.
You gotta show them that other stuff and let your subscribers make the...
Hold on. My goal, let's get straight what my job is, okay, whenever it comes to being on here. My job is not to provide you with every single image that a character has. Because if I did, bro, I don't even know if you can do that, because like especially larger characters, maybe with CAS I could, but like with larger characters like any normal Justice Leaguer, that'd be fucking impossible. You don't even do that. Like, I don't even understand what the criticism exactly is here.
Decision.
It's pretty stupid. You don't, whenever you're putting research into a video, you don't put every single thing into the video. You only put what is important for the point you're trying to get across. And the point you're trying to get across is, here's the most definitive way you can scale CAS without using tactics like this to make a character sound cooler than they are.
Not show all this stuff.
Omniversal structures. Take, for example, the events that occurred during the Smile event. And clearly during the events of Incarnate, they are referencing the fact the Great Darkness could destroy the entire greater Omniverse.
I'm really glad that you brought up the Smile event, because again, another author statement that debunks you. DeMatteis live on Twitter telling you that the divine presence...
live on Twitter as he's typing. Like, why can't he just legitimately just say he said on Twitter? This isn't live. This isn't an interview. Bro, he's just saying stuff. Okay, let's read this. Amazing work, Dr. Feek 90-6. That is God. Is God. DC's God or God of Christianity, as in the God of all people. Yeah, within verse, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. He's asking, hey, you're asking me to define God? Everyone has to do that for themselves. I agree. I'm defining that as God inside the DC cosmology because that's one of the strongest feats of all time. Yeah.
This is basically the source. It's defined as the originator of the God wave of all gods and spiritual paths, which is the source. So again, the source is not meant to be meta outside of literal fictional space. That's not the context of what this story was about.
He just didn't answer any questions he said, and when in reference to the presence. All he said was the God that shows up during the Smile event is God himself. everything you define here, every one of his responses could also legitimately be utilized as talking points for the presence. That doesn't make sense.
The Great Darkness destroying the greater Omniverse. At the end of Dark Crisis, again, we found out that the
Great Darkness did not destroy the greater Omniverse.
Omniverse is just another section of the Orrery of Worlds.
No, it's not.
Outside of the local 52.
The greater Omniverse is what's outside the wall.
We had thought it was beyond the source wall into the Overvoid, but at the end of the series...
Hold up. I gotta find the scan now. This is fucking triggering the shit out of me. Brothers 3? Brothers 3. Where you at? Oh, it's one of these. I gotta read. I know it's one of these ones. Okay, here we go. For all those who don't believe me and think I'm just brainwashing my people and I keep all of my scans and shit hidden and everything, does this live stream feel a lot like that? Because, lol. But I want you guys to check this out, okay? It is a greater boundary in reference to the source wall, closing us off from the greater omniverse. In every direction, from every universe within, this will be the final point. And funny thing is, hold up, where is it? I gotta reopen this shit because I closed it out earlier. I knew I was gonna need this like 8 billion fucking times. Well, ain't that convenient, bro? The source wall is at the end of everything. What's the only thing beyond that? The Overvoid? That must mean that the greater omniverse is... But wait! Here's the limit to even thought. Beyond lies only the monitor mind, the source, and the unknowable. Maybe nobody knew whenever they made that map. And maybe the guy who did make that, like this concept, actually talks to him all the time. And if you watched my interviews with Scott Snyder, he even says, I actively talked to Grant Morrison about all of this. And when I said I was creating realms beyond the source wall, he was like, is it going to be Marvel? And he said, no. And he says, okay, well, let's work on something. Let's figure something out. Like, damn, he really got me there. The greater omniverse really is, I guess, just inside the Orrery of Worlds. And before you ask, source wall emanation theory doesn't kick in until the monitors. So guess what? That wouldn't count either. Rip.
Lumos, we found out that the entire greater omniverse in context and definition was actually just more bleed space. No, all he was affecting was the omniverse inside the multiverse, not the greater omniverse. It's like, dude, does this guy not understand that just because one word is located in another two-word phrase or like a hyphenated word, they're not the same anymore. That's not how that works. Base. They're utilized completely different. So your greater omniverse that you're talking about is just past the local 52. It's still within the Orrery of Worlds.
It's not.
Just has higher levels of existence than CAS demonstrated throughout the totality of his story. Even Golden Wonder Woman, somebody who could process the Overvoid beyond our multiverse, still required the judge that...
You get called out in the comments, and then you warp. You completely warp what that comic book said. The comic book told you that the Source Forge gave Alden and Neon its power, specifically to kill and try to defend against Mandrak. The Source Forge was pissing itself.
This isn't the Source Forge. This is just the Forge of Creation. This is like, imagine hyping up the fact that these guys came down here to get materials the World Forger uses, and thinking that the materials the World Forger, an aspect or like a fragment of what Perpetua's power is like, and getting affected by them and thinking that is genuinely like hype. In the 2018 run, the World Forger at his prime was losing fights to the League and was like not that guy in the 2018 run. Where are you? Like, I don't understand what am I saying wrong? I'm not downplaying the Forges of Creation. The Forges of Creation don't scale to Perpetua or the Darkest Night. Like, in totality. This guy had a small amp from that. Wonder Woman became one with it. And had truth amps with connective energy amps. Like, bro, we're in a whole different department. You can't just take a small fragment of power and one-shot Mandrak and think that Mandrak would suddenly walk up to the big boys and nuke them. And I wasn't even being dishonest in that.
Gifted its power to Alden and Neon. Let me debunk you on this. Let me debunk
away. Let's see what he's got. Maybe
what is
good.
Inside of that forge at full power? The comic book tells us that Element X is the stuff of the forge. One piece, Lumos. One small piece of one piece of Element X of the forge was enough to destroy Barbados, amped by
a guy
the entire
World Forger
Dark
beat
multiverse. Up. One piece, Lumos. One piece of that forge. One piece of Element X in that forge obliterated Barbados.
Perpetua was hundreds of times stronger than any Barbados, as stated in, I believe it's the late 2018 run or Death Metal itself. I want to say Death Metal because that's when Lex is talking. But, like, I'm not saying it's not powerful, but that power does not scale to Perpetua.
Or, like, the entire Dark Multiverse.
The Bat Who Laughs at his prime.
That forge has infinite pieces of Element X in it at full power.
Yeah, and he didn't get all those.
You briefly mentioned that Golden Wonder Woman might be more powerful than the Cosmic Armor. Well, again, I've told you this. I've made videos on this repeatedly. You have seen them. So I need you to go start telling your subscribers what the comic books showed. That source forge,
did Alden jump in here and ascertain this level of power? No.
Diana walked into it.
There's nothing indicating he did.
Dying. It was fractional. It was almost completely burnt out. It was at like 1% of its normal power. It then fractionalized the 1% and gave that power to Diana. So a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the power of the forge was given to Diana. She used that...
Hold on. It says the forge dims by the moment. The creations of the Bat Who Laughs have no real souls, no hopes, no fears. They think only winning. A moment you die. Nothing here is indicating that this is 1%. She went to the forge. It is dimming, to be fair. Like, it is cooling, but she goes in and activates it and absorbs the metal that's there. He's giving a massive negative quantification to the things that's here. Like, why? Like, you don't know. And clearly through the visible amps we see with her getting these amps, she had a massive amount of difference between, like, fucking Alden Quench. And at the worst, Wonder Woman would have rolled up to Mandrak and done the same thing. It would have been no different.
Power to obliterate...
Because she had both powers, not just of Neon or Quench, destruction or creation.
The most powerful version of the Darkest Night. That exact same forge, the same one at full power, gave all of its power to Neon and Alden. Infinitely more power than the Dark Knight. Than what
Where are these values coming from? Somebody says this forge dims. That means it's like cooling, right? And we clearly see aspects of the metal melting or solidifying in the background. That's what starts at first. Things on the surface cool off. Everything below that's still molten. Where is he getting the idea of this? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Knight at his most powerful. A fraction of...
And he even says they never really harm anything. They just change a thing. Like,
the Source Forge.
They just roll up and change his form. Knight. Wonder Woman's form was weaponizing it through force.
The full power
Very
of the
different.
Forge was no-sold by a depowered Mandrak.
It wasn't no sold. He wasn't depowered because he got his stories
Mandrak
back.
then says
so
to
much so
Neon
he
and
could climb back to the top of DC cosmology again.
Then the cosmic armor is so far past you. Lips stronger than yours. You'll never get past me. That was stated by the...
Okay, Neon didn't have the power to beat him up. Neither did Superman. Like, to defeat him permanently, right? I'll admit, the force cosmic armor Superman could put out in terms of a punch, all of stories, is stronger than the World Forge. That does make sense to me, like, physically. That also makes sense why Mandrak ragdolled a lot of these guys. That makes a lot of sense, like why he's just shredding up pretty much everyone here. But the problem was him and Superman and Mandrak were obviously going toe to toe, and they keep adapting to one another, and he throws them off the side. He's gonna see Superman is stronger because these guys haven't beaten his ass yet. Superman in the first 2 punches he had didn't immediately one-shot Mandrak.
Cosmic armor luminance.
Similar situation.
So you like to listen to the comic books unless the comic books debunk you. And
the comic books didn't debunk me. It makes sense the guy who was defeated by somebody would see other people not as strong when they haven't defeated him yet. But you go 2 more pages and they defeat him.
They say something that you don't like. I don't know if that's the case or not, but you have had ample opportunity to come talk to me about all this stuff before making...
I'm not responsible to go and talk to you about content when you said you didn't want to talk to me about that stuff. CAS specifically. You said you didn't want to make that. Hold up, where's it at? Let's find it again. Let's see. Let me go grab it. Maybe I'm misremembering the statement, so let's follow up. You said you'd help me out with other stuff, I'm pretty sure. Holy shit, chat is bumping today. Where are we at? Where are we at? Here we are. Sure, not doing CAS stuff though. I already broke my own rule, and I wouldn't talk about it anymore. I'm not going to do reactions to your videos and statements unless you ask me to. Damn. I miss MJ from like 6 months ago. He was cool.
Your video to make sure it was right. And it's not right. So I have to blast you for it. I have no other choice.
I have no other choice, so I'm going to betray my values. Damn, that's rough, bro.
Here in that comic, you're telling people that Mandrak was obliterated by Alden and Neon, but it's actually the reverse, where the comic book
in
tells
the comment
you
showed me, or in the comment section you showed of me, I said he got sent back to the dark multiverse and turned into a cuck. I didn't say he obliterated him, did I? Did I say that in the video at some point?
The full power of Neon and Alden were not enough to combatively hurt Mandrak. The only thing that they can do was change Mandrak's nature in a depowered state. That's all they can do. They
turned him into a cuck, and sent him back to the dark multiverse. And he had the power to break free of the chains Barbados had placed on him, and had been drinking stories in the dark multiverse after luring people down there forever. And he had the power to return to the positive matter multiverse. Bro.
No longer wanted to play the game. Everything is a game.
You could say he's not as strong as he was, but what stories was Mandrak feeding on out in the Great Darkness or the Overvoid or wherever you think he was imprisoned? He had no stories when he showed up to fight Superman. 0. He was out there for ages. He was in the dark multiverse nowhere near that long. So, like, I don't know what you want from me.
He didn't attack them afterwards. He didn't destroy anything. He just wanted to eat. That's all he wanted.
Okay, I'm gonna address some shit down in the comment section. Okay, look. I said this at the beginning of the video. I have to say it again, clearly, okay? Like, look. I talk a lot about different people's opinions and stuff. And just because I disagree with someone doesn't mean I hate them or I'm mad at them or anything like that. This is how my family was always, taught to talk and converse with one another. We get heated, right? We talk about stuff and we're all very passionate about our feelings. I'm cool with that, okay? If you take it personally because I am a very out there guy, then like, you do you, okay? But you can't play the cool guy doing this shit, playing the, well, I'm a teacher and you're just stupid as fuck. without expecting me to look back at you and be like, okay, if you want to roll in the dirt, unlike you, I'm gonna like take the kids' gloves off because we're adults, but like I'm not gonna sit here and play pleasantries with you whenever you're like, wow, you're just stupid, and then you mistranslate everything I say in a disturbingly bad context. Notice how I don't misrepresent what you say. I use exactly what you say, although I disagree with what you say. You have to twist my words in 8 different ways to make me look bad. And in all honesty, that might work with your fans, but anybody, whether it's my fan or even a neutral fan looking at this, looking at every single image you've posted for proof, is gonna recognize how silly you're being whenever it comes to making or deciphering my arguments or whatever it is.
Wanted to do. They changed his food source.
Nice scan, though.
They couldn't beat him combatively with the full power
they
of the
didn't
source.
continue the fight. This guy just said, this guy's pretty fucked up. I didn't want to have to do this, but fuck it. Like, they were going pretty evenly. I'll agree, though, slight advantage to Mandrak whenever it comes to the 2 big boys on this team. Slight advantage to him. So it makes sense. It makes sense they nerfed the fuck out of him. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Could not do it. Now again, you claim that
he has to use zoomed in version so you can't actually read the whole fucking thing.
Cosmic armor. The Darkest Night was en route to becoming more powerful than those same source judges and the hands. They said that in the comic book. Diana said nothing to counter it. Nothing whatsoever. So that is the case.
Yeah, because they didn't talk about Cosmic Armor Superman inside Death Metal. Well, they're not going to bring him up. Cosmic Armor Superman represents all stories solidified in Final Crisis. Everything down below Limbo. Okay? I want you to think about that. Wonder Woman represented the fires of creation, which fired a larger creation than anything Cosmic Armor Superman was a part of. And on top of that, she was fighting characters who could create creations to the size of Cosmic Armor Superman and blow up larger creations than Cosmic Armor Superman's, like Grant Morrison's, the cosmology of DC at the time of Grant Morrison. So, like, even I can't even rectify that. Like, I genuinely can't.
A fraction of the Source Forge obliterated the Darkest Night in his most powerful state, but the hands and the Source judges weren't that far ahead. Then what would the full power of the Forge do?
Hold on. The judges of the Source were incomprehensibly beyond Golden Wonder Woman. Even by your logic, Golden Wonder Woman couldn't even interact with... couldn't even interact with the judges of the Source. So, even if Cosmic Armor Superman hypothetically was stronger than Golden Wonder Woman, you'd have to prove to me he's, like, infinitely beyond in terms of scaling and perceptions. That's so dumb. Like, bro, come on now.
Infinite
Holy
versions
shit.
of the Element X. Do you see the scaling issue that you
I do with the word, the chain you're building.
The Cosmic Armor.
That shit snapped in the first 10 seconds.
Was more powerful than the full power of the Source Forge. Again, this is the Forge that the Source endowed Perpetua with. Okay? This is the Source Forge.
No, it's not. No, this is not the Source Forge. Oh my god, he's so misinformed it hurts. He thinks that this Forge is the totality. That's what was handed to Perpetua by the Source. This is something they created when they got here. What?
This is the Forge of Worlds. Alpheus made 2 infinite multiverses with this Forge. Okay? An infinite multiverse times 2. The light and the dark multiverse all came from the Forge. And Alpheus didn't...
Okay. That was made in the 6th dimension, using 10th metal. He didn't make that in the dark multiverse. What the fuck? Yo, do I have to find a World Forger scan? God, nobody likes the fucking World Forger, but I think I have scans for him. He created that multiverse up there, not down here. What?
Use the full power of the Forge. He can only
He was reborn in the 6th dimension and created things up there. He let Barbados do shit down below.
do it
That doesn't
one
even make any
piece
sense.
at a time. Whereas the full power was given to Alden and Neon of that same thing. And Mandrak in a depowered state no-sold it. Then said the cosmic armor is stronger than both of
He
you.
didn't no-sell it. Their powers weren't for battle. You even showed the scan for that. Their powers were intended not to harm, but to change. That was the whole point of their powers. They were using their base powers to attack Mandrak and got blown the fuck up. Of course.
Do you see the problem in the scaling issue here? Just show your subscribers what the comic book says.
Look, if I was hiding things from my subscribers, why would I cover your content? Wouldn't I be unironically shooting myself in the foot super hard by demonstrating the ultimate, like, one shot to all of the evidence, like, to all of the fucking questions I ever had or all the failures I ever had? Wouldn't I just be getting nuked right now?
You were talking about these things in your video, but you didn't show the scans. You didn't show the references. You didn't show,
anything that didn't matter.
In context around it. You are censoring all of these statements. You're censoring.
I don't think that's how
comic books
censorship works. I don't censorship comics. I'm giving my take on what comics are. I'm not in DC editorial. I can't censor comics. Now, there is a filter that my fans view, and that filter does filter out bullshit. So if that's not making it in the move inside my videos, I'm sorry, but like, I don't know what you want from me, man. I'm trying super hard to be nice, but you're being so just blatantly rude and dishonest. It fucking hurts.
Reviews.
Let's continue, though.
That's my interpretation of what you're doing. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong.
You are.
At this
You really
point,
are,
the video
dude.
is like over half an hour long. I'm not going to go into the rest of it. I'm not even going to go into the
You
rest
can't
of
even go on to the rest of it.
You have yet to explain to me how the DC Comics Hands, Source, Perpetua, Lucifer, and the Presence, who are stuck in plain time. They're all fictional things in plain time.
No, they're not.
How do they transcend plain time?
They're beyond time. Yo, this guy really thinks beings from the Overvoid and Greater Omniverse are bound by time. I want you guys to think about that.
And get out of plain time to go to cube time, which the author says no fictional thing in plain time can do. Then they bypass.
Yeah, and then we have evidence that characters can do that in actual fiction because President Superman goes into the real world in DC where they write all the comics. You can do that.
And go to hypertime. Then they bypass that.
Hypertime doesn't even scale to any of these things. Hypertime, yo, it's so funny he brought up hypertime. This is how you slam absolutely everything whenever it comes to this argument. Hypertime's beyond any of them, bro. That's like fucking crazy. There's no possible way. Yo, remember World Forger, the guy who created hypertime? Yo, remember at the end of Death Metal, whenever Hypertime was entirely destroyed by the battle between Batmanhattan and Perpetua? Hey, remember at the end of Death Metal, whenever, on the exact scan I showed earlier, where they literally say Hypertime is still healing, implying it was heavily damaged at the end of Death Metal? But no fictional character can get there, including the Darkest Night, which you don't think can reach. Even though they destroyed it. Yeah.
Bypass
Genius
the
argument.
Nil. Then they bypass that and go into the Overvoid. Places, again, that Lucifer and the Presence said that they can't go to and automatically get deleted in once.
Hold on. For mortals, it means that they may enter our realms or reward the punishment. Our Father promised immortal souls, but that promise carries with the implication of non-existence. Is still very much a possibility. Is that where Raphael is now? He found oblivion, he secretly sought, or is he still there, simply unable to communicate? Well, what do you all think? What would you like me to tell you? Who will you speak of the host of now that Raphael's gone? Okay, where does it say that they went there and they all of them, the Presence, Lucifer, all of them just got deleted? Raphael ditched, yeah, but like, what?
They go to. Once they get sent to non-being, they get erased. So,
no. We have characters who've went to the Overvoid and not gotten erased.
Lumos,
It's possible.
I'm trying desperately
Most people just can't do it.
here. I'm trying. I really am. and I don't want drama between us. This is going to be the last video I make about you. I'm never going to make a video about you again. This is the last one.
To be fair,
I have no
to be fair, dude, you said this last time, and then like anytime I cover anything that you like do this shit. Like, you say you would never ever cover my content again last time, just so everybody can see here. He kicked me out of here so he didn't think I'd have scans like this, but like he says he wouldn't do this anymore, but then he just does it anyway. So like, I don't buy that. I don't mind that he covers my content. I don't mind if anybody covers my content, but like, that opens you up to criticisms, right? Like, when I post something on the internet, it opens me up to criticisms, but when you post something on the internet, it opens up you to criticisms. So when I respond back to you to say like, I don't agree with anything you said about me, like, let's have a chat about it, and you say you never want to talk to me in person about it, and you don't want to do anything in that topic ever, and I stop talking to you for 6 months, and then make a video about CAS after somebody tagged me in a video, or in a something like a YouTube comment section or some shit with you in it, asking why you believe what you believe. I gave what you think you believe. Like, whatever, bro. Like, I ain't got I'm not hurt on my end. I'm just upset you're not better. Like, that's the thing that gets me. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. You can cover my content as much as you want. Okay? I'm not here to tell you what you can or cannot do on the internet, unless you're just posting my videos online, which then obviously copyrights get involved. If you're genuinely critiquing my videos and stuff, I'm gonna look through any critique of mine to see if you can provide me something I haven't seen before. You provided me with nothing I haven't seen before, and since I had already seen it, I had thought about putting it inside my content, and I didn't. For a reason. Because it wasn't worth it.
Reason to
no
continue
good content.
making videos about this if you're going to say these things. I just want you to show your subscribers what the comic books and the authors said. That's all. You can have your own interpretation.
Now here, I'll admit, here's probably the only somewhat interpretive panel I've seen him post that actually has something viable on it. Okay? Perhaps nothingness is not the void we were born from, but it is a void nonetheless. They don't know. This person does not know. Even this, which at least says something around what he's believing, like, even that. If you listen to Scott Snyder legitimately specifies everything there either way. And even if I were to take this at face value, I could simply explain this as Perpetua's creation, the way Scott Snyder does. This still doesn't even work against me. Holy shit, I'm way too generous.
And also let your subscribers know what all of the data is. That's the only thing I care about.
Well, if he only cared about data, I really, 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 really wish he'd present a scan that actually says anything, literally anything that he thinks it does. But tell you what, I'm going to answer some questions down low. I've got about 5 more minutes I can hang out with you guys today, okay? I got about 5 more minutes to chill with y'all, so what final questions y'all got for me? Yeah, I love me some synthwave, boys. It's always goated. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I guess final thoughts on the matter is that, like, the problem with MJ, or the problem with the comic curator, okay? And as many people in chat are pointing out, he's a cool guy. I really like the guy. I think he does some amazing edits. I think he's got a lot of talent in a lot of different places. But the evidence he uses never presents the facts ever. And anybody watching my content who doesn't believe me or doesn't like who doesn't like my content or anything, if anything, I understand I can't put everything into one video, but anytime a fact is presented to you from Comic Curator, I want you guys to pause for a minute. I want you to pause the screen and I want you to just read. And I want you to read to actually see if anything he posts on screen is like, or not anything, because he is good. For most things, I would say he's good. The multiverse up to the God Sphere, I'd say he's pretty fucking solid. But I can't really say that considering he thinks the greater Omniverse is inside the Orrery of World. Never fucking mind. I take it all back. On most things, when it comes to characters, I think he's good at what he does. But whenever it comes to the higher end stuff, especially for some reason Cosmic Armor Superman, he has this unique field, and it's not just YouTube specific as people are saying. I mean, whether it's Reddit or a variety of other places, this guy argues with everyone on these topics and just kind of rolls around anybody who talks about this topic. I'm just kind of disappointed, I guess, more so than anything, because I really thought Comic Curator was like the premier Cosmic Armor scaling guy, and I'm not a diehard debate guy. I stopped that shit a long time ago. Okay, like I'm just not that guy. I'd rather have a conversation. I'll give you my interpretation. I'll even hear out your interpretation, but I'll be open to criticizing you just as much as I'm open to taking criticism. But like, when you surround yourself with nothing but yes men, suddenly you believe in anything. And I feel like this is what's going on here. I don't hate Comic Curator or anything like that. I just want better from him. I want his ability to analyze things to be superior. And if he has problems with me saying that or anything along those lines, this is essentially all he says to me. So since he's criticizing me this way, it should be no different that I criticize him similarly. So if you ever need a tutor, I'll tutor you, because clearly you need some help and you're lying to your fans. I'll just kind of like redirect the same arguments he made at me back towards him, because I went through this entire video one by one and debunked every single point that you made. I gave up cataloging them because they were so easy. They were like one sentence answers that were like anybody who's read the last 10 years of DC would have easily put together. Like, this was so unenjoyable that I stopped taking notes. And I'm a note taker. That's just as impressive as it is upsetting. But what do you guys think down low? Did you guys enjoy the Lumos bomb that I dropped this week? Bro, I dropped 3 kick-ass videos. Go check out every single one of them, okay? I got a video on arguably the most powerful feat in DC. I got a video on the hidden manipulator of all of DC. And I got the old CAS video out, so you guys can entirely hear everything that I have for CAS, the arguments, and see the full expectation of really what can come out of CAS if you like are legitimate and like actually can scale things beyond, you know, just LOL contains all comics things. But yeah, guys, like and subscribe. Yo, you guys are my most dedicated fans. I'm looking at you in the fucking camera right now, all right? You in the camera, you're like one of my most dedicated fans. Why in the fuck aren't you a Theromax Corps member? Where are you at? Yo, I got Rock chilling with me. Yo, I got Ganny, bro. I got all the coolest fucking people. Yo, Jobbers and Goons is one of my supporters. Where are y'all at, huh? Where are y'all at? Y'all loving my content? Dude, it's less than a coffee a month. Support me. Get a voice in the content I make, and I guarantee I'll make shit happen for you guys. If you guys, yes, you, F2P dude, I'm talking about you back there. Yeah, that's right. Why aren't you guys subscribing to this shit, bro? I want you to know exactly what I'm going to be making. I want you to figure out exactly what I should be making. And I want you guys helping me out whenever it comes to figuring out content, as well as hanging out. You get all of my videos early. You get access to my Discord, and it's a blast. So if you guys have not become a member, do. At the bare minimum, yo, it's free. Subscribe, boys. It's easy. Yeah, I got claimed. He said I'm a misinformative guy who just asks for money on the internet. So I'm living up to that. Fuck it, yo. You guys really want to support me? You want to see more debunks like this one? Yo, come in. This one was requested by one of the Theromax Corps members. I had to do it, boys. I had to do it. Yo, Godslayer, one thing I don't want to do is just go through every single video on somebody's channel and debunk it. Obviously, me and Curator disagree on a lot, but I'm not the kind of guy who's just going to go through every single video on somebody's channel. If anything, I might criticize like one or any response to me, as I said in my last video. Like, yeah, like or in that CAS video, like I'll always respond to a criticism if I think it's somebody who is a significant enough member of the community, or is like heralded as like the grandmaster of like a certain character or something. Especially the content creators, because it helps spread me around. At the end of the day, dude, I'm a content creator, and I want to create content for you guys. I want to see sick shit. And I wanna get the truth out there. At least the closest thing I can perceive is the truth, given the information at hand. That being said, what I don't want anybody to do is I don't want anybody to go to his comment section and say negative things. Okay, that is not what I want. If you are doing that, I will be mad at you. There is ways to make me mad, and that is one of them. I can have disagreements with somebody, but that doesn't mean I need any of my people going anywhere else and trying to make those arguments for me. I'm a big boy and I can defend my own points clearly at the end of this video. So don't think that you have to go there and do any fucking stupid shit, all right? That's not how the Theromax Corps interacts, and that sure as hell is not how the Omni-Lanterns go. And I believe he gave us the same level of credibility in his comments, so it's only fair we do the same thing. But unfortunately, even with as many concurrent viewers as I actively have right now, I'm gonna have to take off on y'all, boys. Life means are coming up. I'm hoping if things go well today, we'll be able to do a death battle live review of the newest Superman vs. Goku 3. So I really hope you guys are excited for that. And I guess with no further ado, we'll catch you next time, Lanterns. Later.